Today, we take a test drive in the first mass-produced sports car with a mid-engine. Test driver Christoph Bauer drives the most important cars in history. In the Zeithaus in Wolfsburg, there are over 100 roadworthy vintage cars with pioneering technology and revolutionary design. Today, we go on a test drive in the first mass-produced sports car with a mid-engine, the VW Porsche 914. Since 1963, with the 911, Porsche clearly aims for the luxury segment and urgently needs a more affordable entry-level model. At the same time, Volkswagen wants to spice up its model range, shaped by the Beetle and others, with an affordable sports car.
Those were the days. In 1965, Volkswagen chairman Heinrich Nordhoff and the Porsche patriarch Ferry Porsche decided, by handshake, the joint development of a sports car for beginners. After some disputes, it is finally time in 1969, and the Porsche 914 rolls off the production line, quickly earning its nickname. Volks Porsche, or even worse, Vopo, like the National Police, doesn't sound particularly elegant. There were two engine variants, one with the 4-cylinder VW engine and one with the 6-cylinder from the Porsche 911. It's definitely more fun.
The 914 concept promises pure driving pleasure. Driving can be so beautiful. The removable Targa roof with a solid grip provides fresh air. That had just celebrated its debut in the open Porsche 911. The doors of the safety convertible open easily, even after a frontal crash at 50 kilometers per hour. The body construction and final assembly are handled by the Osnabrück specialist Carmen. Only the raw bodies of the 914 WELT are sent for final assembly to Stuttgart-Zuffenhausen. There, like our model, they receive the heart of the Porsche 911.
The Boxer engine is located directly behind the seats in the 914 and practically shouts into the driver's ear. Wonderful duet of hoarse roaring and this high-pitched whine of the ventilation. But what these 110 horsepower do with the only 185 kilograms light car is really impressive. In 8.5 seconds from 0 to 100. 1 second faster than the 911T.
The acceleration frenzy only ends at 207 kilometers per hour. Even at top speed, the weakest 911 model is left behind. And in terms of driving dynamics, the 914 certainly doesn't have to hide from the big brother.
But of course, this mid-engine concept really shows its trump card in fast-driven curves. Porsche chassis guru Walter Nier even said that the 914-6 is more of a driver's car than the 911 Porsche. It has the faster, better response, and the man knows what he's talking about. So in corners, it holds like it's on rails, and the limit seems infinitely far away. But when it comes, it really comes. When the 914-6 breaks loose, it's mercilessly abrupt and absolutely uncontrollable. So a certain composure is definitely appropriate. Even the design of the 914 divides opinions. Some are totally enthusiastic about its minimalist lines that strictly follow the form follows function principle. Others don't appreciate it at all. For example, design guru Bertone said the 914 looks from the front like a car driving backwards. Well, visually, the 914-6 is really no different from its little 4-cylinder brother, except for that small 6 at the back. For hardcore Porsche fans, it is naturally too little differentiation. And now you could call the whole thing an image problem. But as Porsche's marketing chief Huschke von Harnstein once put it so nicely, this is an object for people who love understatement. Where he is right, he is right.
When designing the body, Porsche designer Heinrich Klee had largely free rein. By the end of the 1960s, the sports car, drawn as if with a ruler and without frills, was light years ahead of its time. Porsche traditionalists enjoy the cockpit. The instruments known from the 911 with a central tachometer create a sense of home. Otherwise, the design credo for the interior is also less is more.
So down there, wedged between seats and the rear axle, is the 2-liter Boxer engine, which, by the way, was also installed in the 911T until 1970. And because the transmission is located behind the engine here, it was rotated 180 degrees. Mechanics always end up cursing because it's really hard to reach. But the effort is worth it.
Even two prototypes of the 914 with up to 300 horsepower 8-cylinder engines are created for Ferry Porsche and development manager Ferdinand Piëch. At that time, the fastest Porsches with road approval.
The only drawback of the 914 is the gear shift. Even back then, it had a modern 5-speed transmission, but due to the mid-engine, it sits way in the back. There is a long path between the gear stick and the transmission with a complicated linkage system featuring all sorts of deflections. So hitting the right gear is really a gamble. So when it comes to the transmission, the 911 Porsche definitely has the edge.
And also in terms of image. From 1970 to 1972, only 3,332 units of the 914 with Porsche engine are produced. The more affordable 4-cylinder versions with VW engines sell significantly better.
Together with its little brother, the 914-6 is the first mass-produced mid-engine sports car in the world. In 6 years of production, around 120,000 units rolled off the assembly line, making the mid-engine socially acceptable, which was previously reserved only for racing cars. And so, the VW Porsche 914-6 is definitely a milestone in automotive history.
Since 1996, the first entry-level Porsche has had a legitimate successor. The now well-established Porsche Boxster also relies on the advantages of the mid-engine concept.